Persona 3 Reload, a game made by Atlus which brings the original Persona 3 from 2006 to modern day hardware, as well as uniting the old heads with the disgusting youth. I'm making this video because I'd like to share my very common and basic thoughts about Persona 3, alongside some little tidbits that bother me, or some little tidbits that I find amazeballs, as they say. Now you may be asking yourself, well Toby, you have a Makoto Yuki profile picture. You're going to be very biased. And to that I say, yes the fuck I will be, look at my whole channel. Anyway, this is my video and my review, so if you agree at all, ring the like button, smash subscribe and touch the bell or something. I don't know. If you don't agree or have a different opinion, you can comment it down below. I'll probably read it and I'll probably reply. But if it's a dog shit take, then you can go fuck yourself. Well, without further ado, let's start off with the pros. The pros. We'll start off with the pros. The cool positives that I found that make me extremely happy when I'm playing the game. And not so I can farm watch time or anything by making you wait until the very end for my negative takes on the game. Number 1! The music. Now I fucking love the music in Persona 3. It has been my favorite soundtrack from Persona 5, 4 to 3. But flip that order because I played it from 3 to 4 to 5. And by played I mean I watched a walkthrough on YouTube. And then played them later in a different order. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. So when I heard that they're remaking the songs and they're getting a whole new vocalist, I shit myself. But luckily for me, it's not all that bad. The new vocalist, Azumi Takahashi, absolutely bodies a lot of the songs. Some of them could have been mixed better, but I will hold my tongue until the digital soundtrack comes out. Hopefully, with better mixing. Anyway, my top 5. And we're gonna start off with number 1. Weird, I know, but my favorite song from Persona 3 to Fez to Portable to is it even importable? I don't fucking know. My favorite song out of the whole Persona franchise is Want to Be Close, and it remains as number 1. I'm very happy with how they took this. I'm very happy how they did little small lyric changes, small little instrumental changes type shit, but they kept it there. They didn't do no fancy stuff like how they did with the moons reaching out to the stars at the beginning, how they put it in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. They didn't try no fancy business. They didn't try any fancy business. They just kept it raw, kept it the same almost, and they did the right thing. Number 2, changing seasons, and they improved on this one a whole bunch. When I say the French vocals were just kind of like a blurb in my head and the time passed magically, I mean it. But now, they're English, and when I heard them for the first time, when I heard the English vocals for the first time, it felt like my ears got exposed to 4K. It was very good. And the community agrees because everyone lost their mind over this song. Some people missed the French vocals, but I don't agree with them. Number 3 is Color Your Night, a completely new and original song especially crafted for the joyful walks at night when fulfilling more of Elizabeth's requests or going to the arcade to play my dating simulators. But we don't talk about that. Many people in the community lost their minds over this song whenever it would play at the end of a trailer, but I can't blame them. I was right there with them. For my number 4 spot we have a bit of a rogue pick, but it is the progression of Tartarus floors. Song, block, music, thing. When you go out through Tartarus and the song gets more and more and more instruments until you reach the final floor. I really like how it starts off bare bones and very eerie, sort of like a gross feeling. It gives me wet prison vibes. And then the instruments start to pile on as you climb the floors, kind of like the progression of Tartarus sort of feel. But my favorite one has to be Tartarus 0D06, as it makes Tartarus feel peaceful in a way. Like you finally reached your goal. It's very like upbringing, uplifting, especially with the new redesign. I think it complements the black and white hypnosis sort of style. But now finally, my 5th favorite song in this game is the Nyx battle theme, the battle for everyone's souls. Only because of the beginning. If the beginning didn't have the 3 notes that drop off and then pick themselves back up, then hey, it's over. You wouldn't be in the listing, you wouldn't be here. If it wasn't 12 in the morning on a school night and my whole family was asleep, I would have been screaming in the recording and it would have been in my last video. On to my second positive on the list of however many, I didn't count them. The Tartarus rework, alongside the new battle mechanics. I really like how the themes of Tartarus change per block and don't really have a connection to each other. They're all sort of all over the place. that adds to the fact that Tartarus itself is a mystery and no one really knows what it's gonna present you with. It's all just there. It doesn't have a real connection. It's all over the place. I also really enjoyed the addition of your party talking amongst themselves while you roam Tartarus, like how they did in Persona 5's Mementos. My favorite voice lines consist of Fuka barking like a dog when Koromaru says something. I don't remember it word for word, I just know Fuka barked and then got really embarrassed and I thought it was funny. Fuka checking out Junpei's ass when he rips his jeans, that one was pretty cool. Someone should check out Junpei's jeans and I'm glad Fuka volunteered. And lastly, I really like the harem voice line because I run the cleanup crew and it consists of the harem squad. With no coincidence at all, they just to me are the best team because Yukari heals me and Aigis does a lot of damage and Mitsuru's there, so Mitsuru's there. Now onto the battle mechanics. I really like how they took one of Persona 5's few good qualities and put it into my lovely, sleek, beautiful and gorgeous game. Shifting! Shifting is just baton pass from Persona 5 and lets me tactically beat up my enemies by switching to whichever party member I want whenever I hit a crit or a weakness. Or in short, makes battles so much fucking easier and so much more fun too. Pngs! That's the only time I'm gonna be able to say it. I have done this 14 trillion times and I still can't say that word. As I waited for this game to be remade since 2017, I was very optimistic because they announced Persona 3 Dancing and Persona 5 Dancing were gonna come out on the same day, so, you know, I thought they were gonna start making the remake then. They kinda did. But that's a topic for a different video, and if you wanna hear that, let me know. Back on track. I never expected them to come out with fucking special attacks and more than one for each character. It was crazy. Ken had like 4. Koromaru had like 4.
Win the world and I'ma be with you. It doesn't matter if you hot or if you cool. Nah, niggas want you dead, it's unconnected, I'm a fool. But you made of water, you related to the pool that I'm swimming in. And getting tan, I'm a grin when I'm in the pen. And grilling damn my skin like some cinnamon. Does that offend you? Friends and some winners, man. And I'm the man too.
Alright, that's enough. This next part is going to be short because I don't have much to add that other people haven't said already. But the graphics are fucking clean. They are so good. Oh my god. When the first trailer dropped and Aigis turned around in their blue dress on the dock, I was looking at her and she was looking at me. I knew that this game was going to be amazing. I never expected them to pull out Unreal Engine 5 for the Persona 3 remake, but Jesus Christ, I could not be happier. I really like how the map has subtle changes throughout the seasons, and it kind of reminds me of the movies and how they're split up into the seasons. Like how they have spring, summer, fall, and winter in their name. Speaking of, I'm really pleased that they took many things from all Persona 3 media, rather than just dead set focusing on Persona 3 the original. And just copying that game, but giving it quality of life improvements and better graphics. Apart from FeMC. But we have a mod for that now, so shout out to mod guy, shout out mod team, shout out future mod team. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay! And now that we're getting to the end of my positives list, I want to talk about the Judgement social link. I really like the Judgement social link. It made me really happy seeing all the characters have the little chime-ins after each floor boss that you defeat, and it brings everyone closer together for when Makoto disappears into the moon and fights Egg. It kinda hits harder later in the story when they start crying that he comes back, they all thought he was dead, and it kinda feels like they actually are more than just dorm mates. Like they spend time together, especially in the new dorm events that you can read with, cook with, and watch movies with, or walk Koromaru with someone. Which is another positive that I forgot to talk about when writing my script, but it's there. There's not really much I can say besides that was very good. But back on track. The final cutscene, in my opinion, was done very well, very amazing, made me very happy, made me feel warm inside. They 100%, in my opinion, took a lot of inspiration from the movies, basically forming it up into this grand, like, his friends are coming to see him, and then boom, he falls asleep, never to wake up ever again. He dies. You can tell a large part of the budget went into that cutscene, and it deserved every last penny. Now the last thing that I want to talk about in my positives list is the new English dub, and I think it surprised a lot of people, including myself. I don't know much about voice actors, but when I heard that there's a new cast, and I was like, oh, what if they fuck it up? And spoiler, they didn't fuck it up. You can tell that a lot of the cast was very connected to Persona in one way or another. A lot of the new cast had said that they want to live up to expectations. They themselves are fans of the game. They want to perform for the fans, for themselves. They are fans too. I think everyone absolutely killed their part. Mitsuru almost sounds exactly the same. Xeno killed his part as Junpei, playing around with distance and motion, going highs and lows. I think Alex absolutely killed his free roles of Ryoji, Mysterious Boy, and Makoto, despite Makoto not saying much. My biggest improvement from the old game cast is Fuka. I think Suzy fits Fuka way better than whatever Fuka was in original and Fez. That's like the biggest improvement in the cast to me. Part 2! What I deem is the grey area. This part of the video depends on what type of person you are. You get to decide if these things are positives or negatives, because me personally, I can see both sides, and I will dive into them. Firstly, reload is 100% easier than Fez. This could be due to the massive tartarus improvements, by making it more of an enjoyable experience to sit there for hours on end, but could also be because of the shifting and theurgies, and the other quality of life improvements. The only reason I put this in the grey area is because I came into this game expecting it to be hard as fuck, so I picked normal difficulty and almost ran through the game. The only time I died was the angry red shadows when I hit them and I had 5 HP and didn't realize, and I was like, oh fuck, I'll let my nuts hang, and then I got killed. On the other hand, some people, mostly the new Persona players or Persona 5 players, might have struggled a whole bunch if the game was too similar to Fez and how grindy it was, even on the lower difficulties. So I guess you could call that like a positive, that it's easier, but it could also be a negative. Hence the grey area. Oh, what a beautiful thing. My second grey area thing is totally biased, and I hope everyone in this category gets offended. Now let me ask you, dear viewer, would you rather Mitsuru's son or Akechi daughter? My point is, the new fans. The new fans are amazing for sales and putting more money into Persona and giving it a wider range of viewership, a wider range of popularity. This means more possibilities for future Persona games, titles, collabs, what have you. But, and this is a very strong but, these fans, they suck! What is this, man? This shit! Who thought this was a good idea? But let me add another positive to these fans. Since this game is now an all-time high, that means more artists and more art to look at. And I like looking at art. Now, the negatives. Ooh. We're gonna start off the negatives with the music. That's right, there's always going to be songs people don't like. That's music. So my least favorite Persona 3 Reload song is Mass Destruction. As a surprise to absolutely no one, I don't like this compared to the original version. And to the people that will tell me in the comments, oh Toby, you didn't give this song a chance. Yes, I did. I tried to listen to this song so many times. I thought I was the problem for an absolute eternity. Any single time I missed an ambush on an enemy in Tartarus, I sat there and I listened to this song. And at every single drop, there was something missing. It was just missing that punch. And also, when you sit there and you remake a whole song tons of times for different media, it is so hard to differentiate it from the original, as well as sticking close to being similar to the original. So I don't blame Persona 3 Reload for having a worse Mass Destruction than Fez, because it's punchy, it's there, it's the drop hits every single time, and in Persona 3 Reload it just doesn't, and that's why it's my least favorite song in Persona 3 Reload. Okay, on to the more serious stuff. Why, on God's green earth, did they fucking take away the only use to peeing? Why can't I piss and suddenly not be sick anymore? What's the point of pissing now? What, I can see how the main character is feeling? Boo-hoo! I want to piss and have a 1% chance or whatever of not being violently sick anymore or extremely tired. This is outrageous, and we as a community need to riot. Anyway, another thing that makes me slightly iffy about this game is that some of the cuts in the game feel really unnatural and unexpected and elongated and awkward and unpolished. It's as if I just blinked and missed a key detail or something. It lingers on too much sometimes. And I know this is like a budget cut or time saves, it's not really a major thing. Then again, it could also be my PC bugging. But I've noticed them and they kinda annoy me. Like, I'll be sitting there and in the Kyoto trip, Yukari stands there while everyone else is walking, and it just looks really weird. And this happens multiple times throughout the game. I'll see how many I can collect for the edit, but I know it happens a lot because I sat there and edited all of the footage I had for this game. It's a very minute thing, but I noticed it and now it's on my negatives. Moving on. I think that Atlas should have made New Game Plus elements really obvious. Or at least when you load up the game, be like, haha, you can do cool things. So here are some of them. So you kind of have an outline for what you can do in New Game Plus. Unless my fat fucking dumbass didn't see that shit because I don't read. Then fair enough. But no one told me, and because of that, it's gonna go into the negatives. The only thing that comes off as being a New Game Plus exclusive is telling Yukari that it must be fate. That me and Yukari are in the same classroom at the start of the game. But otherwise, I don't see anything else. Maybe I didn't hit the options, like in other confidants. I didn't see a single other option being locked behind New Game Plus. Or maybe it's because I maxed out all my stats in September, but it should be obvious, in my opinion.
Hello everyone. Fiery Shadow's given me a script here. Not a fan of it, actually. So, I'll tell you another thing I don't like. I didn't like it when Atlas gave a flashback the whole fucking visual novel treatment. Boo! 2 thumbs down. That shit sucked. You know, when the C's flashback happened and Shinjiro was still moving mad, that one. They probably couldn't be bothered altering the models for one-time use, but it would have been awesome if they just gave Shinjiro just that little bit more, you know, because we only see 2 images of him pre-emo. Like, it would have been awesome if we saw a little bit more. It also reminds me of DDLC where Sayori hangs herself, but that's another matter, I think. But, since it's reminiscent of it, it reminds you that FeMC still doesn't fucking exist. So that is now a bad thing. Boo!
Okay, now before the end of the video, my final negative of Persona 3 Reload. At the end of Aigis' Confidant, Friendship Route, we take pictures, and I like the pictures. I like looking at art and pictures and art a whole bunch. It's all my Twitter feed is. No words, just drawings.
So tell me why they didn't fucking show me the pictures of Makoto and Aigis together. What sick fuck decided, no one will care about this. I care, and I don't care if I'm the only one who does. This is, alongside peeing being absolutely useless, the biggest offense. Conclusion. In an unexpected turn of events, and a surprising to absolutely no one conclusion, I love this game. Despite my negative thoughts on it, yes, including peeing doesn't get rid of your sickness, I really enjoyed this game. I really appreciated how they combine all Persona 3 media, the movies, the original game, Fez, Portable. I like how that all combines into Reload. I don't like, however, how they went around releasing the answer, but oh well. I'm probably still gonna buy it anyway. My condolences to the people who bought the Super Mega Ultra Duper Super Deluxe Edition. May you rest in peace. At the very least, the game didn't come broken and unplayable. Because holy fuck, I would have been clowned on so badly by my friends because one of them really likes Ubisoft and I shit on him every day. But anyway, the graphics are such a big improvement. Obviously it's been 17 years since the original came out, and the new special attacks and Tartarus remodel and stuff and the quality of life improvements and all the little things, they just all come together, and my positives that I mentioned in this list, they all come together and make this game so great. I really had to scrape the bottom of the barrel for any negatives, but one that really grinded my gears and really inspired the whole list was those cuts in between the cutscenes that were unpolished, jumpy, and felt like I missed a key detail and made me like lose my mind. But that's not enough to turn my perspective on this game from positive to negative, so it will stay positive. I rate this game my overall 10 out of 10 because I'm biased as fuck, and Persona 3 has been and still will be my favorite game of all time. Thanks for watching or something. Yeah, shit, I don't know what people say here. Like if you like, subscribe if you subscribe, and yeah, see you or something.